Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends. How are you? My name is Abdul Khalik. Dear friends, self control, a self discipline, how important it is. Many of the people do know, but some of the people might not be knowing it. Dear friends, it is like a control system of a vehicle or a boat or an aeroplane. As far as the self control or self discipline is concerned, it is not any way lesser important than any of those things which I called as a vehicle, as a boat, as an aeroplane, or as any other important thing. My dear friends, if at all a person is having a very good self control, it actually means that this person will be doing right thing most of the time, and then as a result of doing many of the good things, this person will be able to reach their destination, will be able to achieve a lot. And contrary to that, opposite to that, there are people, even if at all they are very resourceful, even if at all they are talented and intelligent, but what is going to happen with their life, that in the absence of this very good self control, they are going to destroy themselves. They are going to destroy themselves bit by bit, and they will become their own worst enemy. Either they destroy them bit by bit, or they destroy it suddenly. I think that the destruction is going to become, the destruction is actually their destination, and it is something which is inevitable in their life. Why? Because of the lacking of the self discipline. So, dear friends, we are going to talk about today upon the self discipline, as it is the most important thing. I don't say that it is one of the most important things a human being need to develop in oneself. Rather, I shall be quite confidently say that it is the most important thing. And if at all a person is not having this thing, it actually mean that whatever they are carrying and possessing, this is going to be destroyed. And if a person is having it, they are going to keep increasing the goodness in their life. So there are five stages and five aspects of this creating the self discipline in we ourselves. What these are, by the way? The first of all, it is the training the mind through meditation strategy and focus. Training the mind, we can train the mind by meditation, by strategy, and by developing our focus. And meditation, many of the people do know, but those who don't, they need to learn what the meditation is, because it somehow it trains our mind. And we need to train our mind, because out of all the body, it is the mind which is the first and the foremost important thing, because the mind controls everything. If at all the mind is a healthy one, it means that we will be improving a lot. And dear friends, then it is the strategy. What is this strategy mean? A plan of action to achieve, a plan of action designed to achieve the long term or the overall aim. So that is called, strategy and focus. Mean concentrating all the attention, or call it mindfulness. What is this mindfulness? It is a state of mind, a state of mind achieved by by focusing our awareness on the present moment, by focusing our awareness on the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting our feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensation. So it is the mindfulness, that training of the mind, that we are going to talk about. Training the mind through meditation strategy and focus. The second is strengthening the body through physical training and endurance. S- Strengthening the body, because if at all our body is strong enough, I think leading a good life is quite possible, is quite feasible. My dear friends, we need to do, all what we need to do is that we should be strengthening our body. We need to strengthen our body. We need to strengthen our body through physical training and endurance. The third is following the way by adhering to core principles and skills. Following the way by adhering to core principles and skills. You know, it there are, obviously we have to move forward. Obviously we have to live a life, but what will be the way to do that? I think it is the core principles, the very basic of the fundamental principles and the skills. I think that principles, because we don't want to go astray, and we want to keep ourselves on the right path. And now, as for the skills are concerned, skills mean efficacy. We become more effective and far more effective because of the skill. And this is not the time of the unskilled people. And the third is, uh, the third is following the way by adhering to core principles and skills. Now the fourth is being adaptable and applying self-control to any situation. So being adaptable, we need to become flexible learner. We need to become, we need not to be rigid at all, so that we adopt every new situation. The change is occurring, and the change will keep occurring here in this world, in our life. Something, the only thing which is unstoppable and the only thing which is invincible, that is called change. So inside every change, after every change, with every change, we need to adopt all that. We need to become adaptable, and we need to apply the self control. We need to, in every situation, no matter wherever we are, we need to control the self. We need to control the self discipline. We need to practice the self discipline, and that is extremely important. While we are talking about practicing the self discipline in every situation, we must remember that I don't have even get closer to the dangerous situations. I don't have to get closer to the dangerous situations, like if at all there is anywhere there is a drug abuse, or there is a kind of violence. We do have to keep ourselves from the drug abuse, from the violence. We do have to apply the self control to keep ourselves far, far, far away from that sort of dangerous situation. And because of the osmosis effects, I think we need to keep ourselves safe. And the fifth and the last is discarding the ego and any sense of self importance. Discarding the ego and any sense of self importance. I think, as for this ego is concerned, it does not allow us to accept the right thing. We deprive ourselves from many of the good things. Why? Because of the self import so called self importance, because of the ego. As far this false ego is concerned, I think it does not allow us to get connected with many of the good things. Why? Because I think you think that maybe this will rate me down. Although it does not rate us down at all, rather it makes us learn many of the new things. So as far this ego is concerned, as far this sense of self importance are concerned, so apparently it is discarding the ego. We must have to discard the ego. We must have to discard this self importance. So all of that is really so important, so simple. So I think these are the five principles and the five stages, the five aspects of creating self control, self discipline.